Well, greetings and welcome into Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 161 today. And here she is, the one and only, the completely clothes-free and fully smiling, our Naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
Good morning, Frank, and I am absolutely fabulous.
Wow.
I'm going to say that until it gets warm because I am freezing. So if I just convince myself I'm absolutely fabulous, life will be good.
And how do people find our merchandise page?
They go to nakednudistandnaturist.com, click on In Shop, and browse away.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Lisa. We have some letters to get to now. And the first one, we've tried to get to the last few shows from Paul Priestley. And we read the last paragraph of his letter a few shows ago. And then last week, we had to totally put it aside because something came up. Well, Paul Priestley, guess what? We're doing you first today. That way, with no chance of running out of time on Paul. And so to show his wisdom and intelligence, he starts off with greetings, friends. That way he doesn't tick Lisa off for putting her last. Hello, Frank.
Yes.
And Lisa, no, just greetings, friends. Same with radio. We paint the verbal picture here. Your imagination takes off. And Lisa, we've talked about that before, haven't we?
We sure have. And, another example is from, I think it's either from a Raymond Chandler or Dashiell Hammett book. I'm not sure which. But it's often, I've heard it quoted often in writing groups and in writing instruction. And that is the simple definition of one major character. This was all that was ever said about how she looked. She was just referred to by her name from that point on. And the comment was, she walked into my office and threw her hat on the desk. Mm-hmm. End of conversation. That was it. And that line alone set up something in your head. And from that point on, whatever that reader felt or saw in that moment was how they saw that character the rest of the time. And that's important because you don't want to blow that. You don't want to take that image away from people once they have it. So it's really important to understand that radio or word definitely fuels the imagination.
And Lisa Monroe, with that, we're going to have to head to part one of my interview with Renee Bellamy. He's the gentleman, cartoonist, artist, who drew a picture of us based upon how he thought we looked. And that's based on how we sound and our personalities and our presentations. Other than you being blonde, and he hasn't seen you yet.
Yes.
He thinks he got pretty close, and he really thinks he came pretty close to nailing me. So it should be interesting. I know you'll enjoy it.
I certainly will. And, anytime we deal with someone who's creative like he is, it's always an excellent interview. And so I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, Lisa Monroe, with that, if you promise to stay clothes-free, we'll see you at the end of the show. Is that a deal?
It's a deal.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Well, you are listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 161 today. We are really glad that you are with us, enjoying this hour of clothes-free and living for all of the right reasons together on a beautiful Saturday morning. And now let's get to part one of my interview with Renee Bellamy. He is an artist, cartoonist from Vancouver. He is a gentleman who drew a picture of what he thought we looked like based upon our voices and our presentations on this show. So let's get to it. Part one with Renee Bellamy.
I don't really know why. I know I was curious from a young age, having seen a picture of a friend's dad on a beach in Israel, and learning that there was such a thing as a nude beach. And that sounded pretty wild, because my family it wasn't that it was against nudity. It was just like nudity wasn't even a thing. Nudity wasn't discussed. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. Nobody knew it existed.
Yeah.
But I saw some pictures of a friend's dad, and that got me curious. And then years later, I was in university. I went on a canoeing trip with a friend, and I think he encouraged me to go skinny dipping. I say I think because after that, I never needed any encouragement at all. It was hard to keep my pants off because after the first time skinny dipping, I just never wanted to ever swim in a suit ever again. There was a nude beach, and Marcia and Nelson were walking along the nude beach, and they saw Liz and Brian, and Marcia and Nelson were both wearing quite skimpy bathing suits because, it was one of those sorts of places. And Liz and Brian were sort of, hiding a little joke to themselves because their bathing suits didn't cover that much anyway. So what was the point? So this has all emerged over the course of about 120 cartoons and another 60 or so other drawings of prompted suggestions. Yeah.
The very terrific Renee Bellamy, cartoonist, artist from the Vancouver area. And on next Saturday's show, which will be episode 163, part 2 of my interview with Renee Bellamy. And before we head for the hills until Wednesday's show, let's bring back in our Naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. Welcome back, Lisa.
Good to be back. And if you'll notice, I brought you a refill of coffee.
What's the old expression? The way to a man's heart is through his stomach, or something like that.
Yes.
If you're a good cook, which you are. I'm a little bit different. The way to not only my heart, but my mind, my body, my soul, my entire reason for living. The way to get to me is through coffee. Doesn't even have to be great coffee. Just has to be not bad, as long as it's average or better. You're as good as gold. So I think we're going to have you in on Wednesday's show just because you brought me coffee. How about that?
Well, I am just so flattered that I get to come back for Wednesday's show. Wow, if I know that was what it took, I would, bring you coffee more often. But
oh, my gosh, yeah.
Goodness.
All right, Lisa Monroe, we'll have part 2 of my interview with Renee Bellamy on next Saturday's show. But in the meantime, if you promise to stay clothes-free, we'll have you back Wednesday. Is that a deal?
Wow, I will definitely be here, and I might even bring coffee and maybe something to go with coffee, maybe a coffee cake.
All right, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Well, you've been listening to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 161 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning, 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, and on most Wednesdays, 12 noon Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, any place. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked and join us again for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Have a great clothes-free day.